Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Um, I was talking to a coworker today, and we were talking about job performance. Um, we were talking about improvement, how to take certain areas of the job to the next level, that kind of thing. And I got to thinking, it's like, we're always striving, in theory, to do better. We reach a goal. We're here at this level. We set a goal for this level. Then we reach it. And now it's like, oh, well, now we can go to this level. And then we're striving to go to that next level. We're always striving to lift ourselves up and go higher. And believe it or not, we started talking about certain instances in the Bible. And one of the things that came to my mind was the man that stayed by the pool for 38 years. There's a story in the Bible, in the New Testament, where there was a certain pool of water. And every year, once a year, it said the waters would get agitated and stirred up because an angel would come and basically insert its presence into the water. And as a result of that, whoever would jump in the pool first would be healed of any kind of sickness or malady, any kind of problem, whatever. That person who dived into the water first would be healed. And so, you can only imagine that that was some kind of event that probably had more people than Mardi Gras would show up. I mean, think about it. You're dealing with some kind of hardship, some kind of suffering, and to jump in this pool and be healed, to get rid of that malady, I guess it would be worth it. I can only think to myself that people would travel great distances just to get a shot at jumping in this pool when the time came. Almost like winning a lotto. But there was this older guy who supposedly waited by the pool for 38 years. He was lame in some sort of way. And so one day the Messiah was walking by at the time, around the time that the angel was supposed to come around and stir up the waters. And the Messiah noticed the guy, and they had a little dialogue. And he said, basically, I've been here 38 years, and I'm just here. And it's like I have nobody to pick me up and put me in the pool so I can be healed. And so I was thinking to myself, you probably know the story already, how it ended. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, you got nobody to put you in the water. And I actually heard a sermon about this before. And I'm going to kind of expound on that sermon I heard. But, okay, you have nobody to put you in the pool. You're lame. And nobody wants to put you in a pool. Why are you even expecting somebody to put you in the pool? I mean, you got people coming from all around. Like somebody that's got a terminal illness that barely has enough strength to get in themselves, or anybody else with a chronic illness or something of that nature. Why would they forfeit their chance to be healed and pick you up and throw you in a pool? I mean, if you know human nature, it's pretty selfish. It's basic, and people, they have their own agendas. I mean, believe it or not, I know you believe it. People have their own hidden agendas, and some hidden agendas are pretty overt. People are aggressive. You hear about those stories on Black Friday when these people go all out to get these items on sale. They tear each other apart. I mean, I can only imagine that being at that pool was like a Black Friday to a maximum degree, you know, like to the 10th power. People probably tore each other apart to try to be the first one to jump in that water. So why would you expect somebody to be like, oh, well, yeah, I'll put you in? Why would you expect that? You know, the book says that he was lame. I get that, but how did you get that close anyway? I mean, you were right at the edge of the water. How did you even get there? I mean, who took you there? But anyway, you know, it's just something food for thought. And that minister who I heard preach about this some time ago, it was like, you know, a lot of these people, they're perpetrating. It's like the guy, it's like he didn't even want to be healed. He was having a pity party, a 38-year-long pity party. And you'll see where I'm going with this momentarily. But ultimately, a time came, as I alluded to a little bit while ago, and the Messiah came along and saw this guy. And the guy gave him his sad story, the pity party. Oh, I ain't got nobody to put me in the pool. And you know how it goes. The Messiah said, man, just pick up your bed and walk. And so the guy wasn't lame no more. I tell you what, to me, that sends a very powerful message. And I'm sure it does for you too. And you want to lift yourself up to a higher level, to higher ground. I know you do. I do. And I'm working toward that. What are you doing to lift yourself up? How are you picking yourself up? Are you sitting around waiting for some kind of magical moment? Some magical person, a prince or princess charming to come to you and touch you like a genie or some sorts, and all of a sudden your life is magically changed for the better? Well, like that guy that waited at the pool for 38 years, that didn't happen. And technically, the Messiah saw through his fakery, saw through his sandbagging excuses, and knew what was going on and said, man, just get up and walk. So, what are you waiting on? I mean, what is your particular situation? What is your goal? What is your, I dare say, illness? Hopefully you don't have an illness. But what is your situation that you could possibly be sandbagging on and procrastinating, waiting for something magical to happen when you, in your heart of hearts, know you can make something happen for yourself if you stop having a mental pity party for yourself? How is it that you can, and you can think of something, how is it that you can think of something, think of anything, to start the process of picking up your bed, whatever bed you're laying in, picking up that bed and walking toward your better life, walking toward a more prosperous future? That's the point I was trying to get across. we all have that measure of faith. The Messiah understood that this guy who was waiting by the pool for 38 years was sandbagging. And all he did was call his bluff. He saw through him and he said, you know what? Paraphrasing, dude, you're full of caca. Just get up. Pretty intense, huh? Well, that's the message today. Pick up your bed and walk, whatever that may be. Also, this book, Power Spiritology by Dario Thomas. It's a self-help book. Just like the Messiah tapped that old guy, well, spiritually speaking, of course. He tapped him and said, hey man, get up and walk. I know sometimes the mind can be a little bit fuzzy at times, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's one of the things about procrastination. Uncertainty and confusion can be a factor that causes people to procrastinate. It's why people have pity parties. They become stagnant and they believe they need other people to lift them up. They believe they need other people to pray for them. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying people shouldn't pray for you or vice versa, but all I'm saying is you can recognize that you have a measure of faith within, and you can pick up your bed and walk. And this book, The Power Spiritology, can prove to you that that's true, because we need proof beyond hearsay anyway. I don't mean to talk down about anybody's belief systems, but a lot of our belief systems are based upon conceptual evidence and not necessarily a consistency of seeing real demonstration in the real world. So this book, The Power Spiritology, can prove to you that the measure of faith is there. And once you actually know it's there, beyond all shadow of a doubt, guess what? It's activated. And you can pick up your bed and walk. Anyway, thank you for listening. Subscribe to the Spiritology Television Network on YouTube. And have a good night. God bless.